Hello everybody, and today we're going to be talking about genocide in East Africa, specifically in the country of Sudan. So first let's remember where Sudan is. Okay, Sudan is this big country right here where the Nile River runs through it, borders Ethiopia, Eritrea, Kenya, and Uganda, as well as these other countries to its west. But specifically we're going to be talking about this genocide that happened in Sudan back in the 1980s, 90s, and 2000s. So first of all, let's figure out what genocide is. Genocide is the intentional destruction of a group of people. So, throughout history, an example of this would have been in World War II. If you probably all remember this, the Nazis in Germany, they tried to wipe out the Jewish population in Europe. So they put them in work camps, and they end up murdering millions and millions of Jews. So that would be a genocide. So this also happens in Sudan. From 1983 to 2005, we see the Sudanese Civil War, the Second Sudanese Civil War. And this occurs between Muslims and Christians. So the Muslims were in charge of the government, and they begin to try to eliminate Christians and another religion called animists, who believe in like natural spirits, in the southern part of Sudan, and specifically in a place called Darfur, which is what you see on the map right here. Okay, so the Muslims begin, and this Arab militia begin to attack these Christians, and they sought to kill as many Christians as they could, men, women, children, it did not matter. And in 1992, boys in Sudan between the ages of 8 and 18 begin to flee the country. Okay, and they're called the Lost Boys of Sudan, and many were your age, okay, between the ages of 8 and 18 years old. And as you can see in this picture right up here, this is just a picture of a lot of the boys who were traveling to try to escape this genocide, and they're named after the Lost Boys of Peter Pan's posse, and I put a little picture of them right here for you. But that's kind of what they're named after, these orphans from Peter Pan, if you remember seeing the Peter Pan Disney movie. Because these boys now, too, are orphans. As they fled their country, they left their family, their parents, their brothers, their sisters behind, many of them who had been killed by these Muslims. It's a very sad story. But anyways, they begin to travel over 1,000 miles to try to get refuge here in Ethiopia, in a place called Pinyudo. And they travel all the way from Darfur, some in Darfur, some near the Nile River, and they'll travel all the way to Pinyudo, where there is a refugee camp. And a refugee is someone without a home, someone who's lost, and they're trying to find safety. So they'll travel from Darfur, other places in Sudan, to Ethiopia. And it's about a 1,000-mile journey. And it takes them between 6 to 10 weeks. Without water, without food, really no shelter. They're in the heat and the cold at night. And they withstood, these boys who were your age withstood attacks from hyenas, even lions. And then, of course, the Arab militias and the Muslims still trying to kill them at the air attacks. And missiles dropped on them and bombs dropped on them from the Air Force of the Sudanese. So it wasn't a very pleasant experience for these boys, needless to say. And here is what actually their journey looked like. So you can see up here they go across into Ethiopia. Once they get into Pinyudo, something goes wrong, and they have to once again travel. They leave Pinyudo, and finally they make their way down to Kenya, Kakuma, spelled different ways, but that's where they find refuge, safety in Kenya finally. And many of them are shipped off by UNICEF, a aid group, over to the United States, where they make their living today. So you're going to watch a video now on the Lost Boys, similar to the one you watched earlier in the year, but this one is called From Sudan to the United States, so go ahead to your email and watch this short video to be prepared to do some activities on this tomorrow in class.